Okay, Abusia, a former Chief Justice Torkornoo, a new application to challenge her removal as a Supreme Court judge, or the copy more High Court now, or the copy more High Court no. A year Attorney General intervene or just say yen fan copy more a Supreme Court now High Court no ye interpretation na a Supreme Court and a just say ye interpretation. Now mameno ye can't be breaking mameno about Supreme Court as you see on one casano on per se obeying the case Supreme Court all because a year judges no more on ne obia enya obia ne ninyere inshia ho na ene just say the case no ever premium Supreme Court massa lawyers nature say she is a joke. Omo very sorry. She is not allowed to be a Supreme Court what? Judge nature say maame na nkasa no case no kra mpo yenya ndi ya kra no omo abo application no e de atuba bi omo che ne say she is not allowed to be a Supreme Court judge. Na wo no waba aba be bo a Supreme Court judiciary system wa be bokro no way the oye no scandals akese NHS wo de aba be piemu our judicial system o pay di ma otuama okunu ene omma o de omotu kwan no eno krampo no HSE yenka ho asem wi wasan so anya ho de wasem ba Supreme Court ha madam we are very sorry say one kasa no untumi enye a Supreme Court judge bi o masa o mo twa asem ne so titi a ma me no o ma bone bongarat mo me yanko na yanko kotie ensem bi lawyer Martin Pegu de etu down subscribe like na sanso share ma from so answer into me and kabia ha Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell send be any update be able drop biano one so one sa ebe to me aka madam ase.
Lawyer Martin Pebu, sorry I called you a PhD holder. Lawyer Martin Pebu.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah,
morning.
I was adding more accolades to your title. Yes, I was adding more accolades to your title, PhD.
Thank you.
I apologize for that.
It will come someday. Yeah.
It will come, eh? It means it's in the offing.
That's right. Yeah.
It's in the offing. All right. Congratulations to you in advance. Before your PhD graduation happens. But in the meantime, because I see that you don't have time, I'd wanted Solo to react, but I'll leave that for him so that we can get for you. Look, how practicable, and then also by way of precedence, as we have it within our jurisprudence, is it possible that for any argument to be made or canvassed, that the removed Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo, could still practice as a member of the Supreme Court and not necessarily the presiding?
It's a zero chance.
Zero?
Zero chance. There's absolutely a zero. There's absolutely no chance. Anybody who makes such an argument is being farcical. It's a joke. It's the most, hilarious joke I've ever seen. Listen, let's do it this way. By Article 128, etc., a justice of a Supreme Court has to have integrity and not be involved in moral turpitude. They think that 367,000 Ghana cedis were lost because Justice Torkornoo signed for per diem for husband and then daughter, and the tickets are a joke. You know how many millions of citizens don't earn up to even 100,000 Ghana cedis the whole year? There are millions and millions and millions and millions of our citizens who don't earn 100,000 cedis the whole year. So when a Chief Justice takes such money for her daughter, when a Chief Justice takes, that's the $10,000, it's more than 100,000 Ghana. When a Chief Justice takes $6,000 for her husband, which is more than 60,000 Ghana, etc., don't call that a joke. When a Chief Justice also allows the daughter to travel with her, when it is not part of Article 71, conditions of service of the Chief Justice, it is not a joke. Huge constitutional breach. When a Chief Justice allows the husband to travel on the public purse, which is not allowed under Article 71, that is not joke. It's a huge breach of the Constitution. Let's stop kidding ourselves. You see, those who are pushing this argument that she can go and serve on the Supreme Court. You see, unfortunately, what they're doing is that because they keep pushing the argument too far, then we are forced to make arguments that will erode totally, okay, or leave next to nothing the integrity and moral turpitude of the Chief Justice. This thing should stop. It's as if we are in a banana republic. Anybody comes and just wants to say anything. It's not a joke. You know, you look at the millions of citizens who wake up, go to work every day, the whole year, they don't get 100,000. You take this in $10,000, which at the lowest will be 105,000. And if you look at the time, 2023, that was happening. You know, in the year 2023, we had a dollar not less than 13 Ghana. So you had 14, etc. You take such huge sums of money to give your daughter. You take such huge sums of money to give your husband. You take such huge sums of money to get business class ticket for your daughter, tickets for your husband. And somebody comes to say, oh, this is a joke. Please, 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 let's stop that. Rather, with every day that we keep discussing this topic, then it is the integrity of the Chief Justice that is being eroded. The more this topic is being discussed, then the more even you raise public anger. Is that how the Chief Justice behaved with our public purse? That's why I said, this, if we are not careful, you even do it, somebody will take the criminal aspect of this case on. Because it's a crime as well, abuse of public office. Check the Act 29. Using public office for private gain. That's corruption. Corruption. So please, this you see, I appreciate devil's advocate, but not this type of thing. Which court in this country or anywhere in this world will allow a Chief Justice who has taken our money and used it anyhow like this to continue in office as a Supreme Court judge? Why? What kind of logic is this? Please, let's stop. When you push the argument, you are just rather creating more trouble and eroding the integrity of the Chief Justice. Because the more we discuss it, and then the more the ordinary citizens also engage in the conversation, then the more it becomes clear that our public purse has just been used anyhow. Like they say, Oga de chop am nyafu nyafu nyafu.
Oga de what?
Chop am nyafu nyafu nyafu. Look, Oga de chop am nyafu nyafu.
Oga de chop am nyafu nyafu?
Yes.
I see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. But if that is the position you hold, and you seem to be trumpeting this very consistently, then does it mean that the response in opposition to that affidavit by the Attorney General seems to be in the right state or posture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the Attorney General, if it is the one we saw yesterday night, what the Attorney General is saying is that what the Chief Justice wants in the High Court cannot be done. It will involve a constitutional interpretation. So if that is so, the High Court judge should refer the matter to the Supreme Court, because when it comes to interpretation of the Constitution, it is the Supreme Court that has that mandate, and it's exclusive. The rest of the courts don't interpret. Interpret means give meaning. But rather, what the rest of the courts do is that when the provision is very clear, that's the part of the Constitution in contention. When it is very clear, or where the Supreme Court has given many interpretations on that provision, which has made it clear, then the smaller courts will apply it. Yes, when I say smaller, the High Court is smaller, relative to the Supreme Court. But by all means, the High Court is a big court. But when it comes to relativity, it is small compared to the Supreme Court. Okay. So the point is that what Justice Torkornoo is looking for, we had said it, that no, it cannot be done in the High Court. She essentially wants an interpretation of the Constitution, and that interpretation can only be done in the Supreme Court. So it's good that Justice Remsai, the Deputy Attorney General, has applied to the High Court. So now the High Court most probably will agree and then refer that part of the case to the Supreme Court. So that means after some months, you see that the people will now, that's the Justice Torkornoo and her lawyers, and then the Attorney General would then appear in the Supreme Court, because the High Court would have made the order that that part, interpretation, should go to the Supreme Court. Yeah. Then they will appear in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will go through the processes and then give a ruling. Then based upon it, then they will return back to the High Court and use what the Supreme Court has said to dispose of the case. Okay. So that's the right thing. Okay. But please, let's stop this. Look, the way we are pushing this argument that nothing was done, these are trifles, please. It tells you that we are not serious about protecting the public purse. There is a case, the Akroma DC versus Attorney General, and then Dafia Mepo versus Attorney General. That is a case in which this Akroma DC went to court that presidential spouses, that's the first lady and second lady, should not be paid any allowances, etc., from the consolidated fund. And the Supreme Court said yes. And it was Justice Torkornoo who was leading. You see, because the argument is that, and that's right, under Article 71, when you open to 71, you not see the terms and conditions. But what you see is that it makes provision for a committee to be set up to propose terms and conditions. Then the president would accept or reject those terms. Okay. Now, under Article 71, through it, we've had the Professor Miranda Greenstreet report, suggesting, making proposal for emoluments, conditions of service of MPs, etc. And then Then from there, even if not in a certain order, we had the Irama Addo, also a professor at University of Ghana. Irama Addo report, Professor Irama Addo. Then we had the Buando report, also another professor. All of them, is a coincidence that they are all female professors, right? So we've had all these reports. The point is that these reports that were made pursuant to Article 71, they don't give any chance for a Chief Justice to take money for her husband or take money for her daughter, etc. That is it. So it's a constitutional breach. So please, those saying that this is trifle, it was just done on political lines or it was just political witch hunt. Sorry, if the Chief Justice hadn't done those, would they have been grounds to remove her? I mean, I can, so the main thing is that if the Chief Justice hadn't breached the rules, would the petitioners have found grounds to go to the president, and then the president, through the Council of State, etc., for the committee to be set up?
Martin Kpebu, thank you very much for your own, again, explanation to what you have observed so far. Martin Kpebu, a.k.a. Ogadi Chopam Nyafu this morning. But Fred, what do you make of the responses that seem to be coming from the Attorney General's department in response to the concerns that have been raised by the removed Chief Justice Torkornoo? It looks like, look, she wants to remain a justice of the Supreme Court, even though she's been removed as the lead or presiding head of that institution.
Well, Roland, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers, especially the good people of the Guan constituency, by whose privileged I'm representing them in Parliament. I thought some people have boycotted this platform, so I'm surprised to see a former aspirant sitting here and taking notes.
Dr. Zato is an astute member of the platform.
Is it a case that they cannot sanction him? Look,
please continue.
Who do you talk?
No fight today. No fight today. No fight.
That's what my friend to talk. Well, Ro, I think that I like the tenacity. I like the fighting spirit of the former Chief Justice. She's demonstrated that she's not a pushover. She's shown to all of us that she is capable of fighting for what she thinks belongs to her. And she has used every medium available to her to do that. She's even gone outside our, legal jurisprudence to try to seek redress outside of this country. Unfortunately, almost every place she has gone to, she hasn't been able to make a good case for herself. And she has always been dismissed. But she's still fighting. For me, it's a test of our democracy. It's a test of the document we call a constitution that all of us have agreed that we want to govern ourselves with. And so I'm not going to condemn her for that fight. I am not going to make any comments, that are not very palatable to her. It is good. It's a test of our democracy. So that I have no problem with it at all. What she has done, she has helped at least in setting some precedents and, helping people to know what it means when they really feel that, yes, they've not been treated fairly or something is not going in their way, to want to seek redress in the same court that she presides over and she represents. The only time I became a bit concerned, if not worried, was when she started raising concerns about the way and the manner the court that she was supposed to be the head of was treating her. She made a claim that she was not getting fair hearing, the process was not good and all that. Then I said to myself, it is good when all of us who, by the grace of God, have some privileged position in society, occasionally will have a taste of what the general public is going through. So that when we are given position of responsibility, we'll put things appropriately. Some way, somehow, we think that the police cells or the prison is a prison for some group of people. Up until you leave your very high office, and then you find yourself at the wrong side of the law, and then you go to that place that either you thought was meant for some quote and quote some riffraff, some people who don't matter, and then you are there. Then you realize that if I get the opportunity, let me maintain that place. Let me do it well, because it could also become my sleeping place one day. It serves as a lesson to all of us that even the Chief Justice of a republic or the Republic of Ghana can go through trial, go to the same system that she presided over, the system that she established, the system that she has been part of for all these many years. Ordinary people, when they go through it and they feel that they've not been treated fairly, they don't have any avenue to even vent out. They don't have anybody to tell. They keep it to themselves and they go in their homes. And so it is good that we are experiencing it. I think I've shared this experience before when I met one very, very senior police person who is on retirement, who had gone to his community and was coming back to Accra, driving his own car, old man, and he got to the police barrier. And the way the man at the police at the barrier treated him, it's like, so is that what ordinary people go through? I served in the police for my 35 years. So every day I was going on the road. At least I was either wearing my uniform or have my ID card, so I was treated differently. Now I'm faced with the reality of what people go through on our roads. And so I want to thank her, I want to encourage her and encourage all Ghanaians that the society is for all of us. We have made laws for ourselves. And if at any point in time you think that things are not going well, why not? You can do whatever you want to do. That Attorney General decision he has taken is a very simple decision. The former Chief Justice has gone to the High Court questioning why they have used the same process that has removed her as a Chief Justice to also remove her as a Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, the Attorney General has gone to the Supreme Court that has the power to interpret the Constitution, to go and interpret the constitutional provision. And as I was driving in, somebody sent me a text, and I think he summarized everything that we are discussing around this table. When he says, how can you be a headmaster of a secondary school that stole items in a school, other food item, whatever it is? You are arrested, prosecuted, and sacked or dismissed as a headmaster. Then you said, okay, if you have removed me as a headmaster,
I want to be a teacher.
Allow me to be a teacher. Where's the logic? How do you pin it together? Right?
Why not?
Say that again.
Why not be a teacher?
No, but
because being a headmaster,
you must qualify to be a teacher to become a headmaster. And so you must have some qualifications. You must have some qualities. Do you understand? Before you are elevated to become a headmaster. Before you become a Chief Justice of a republic, you are first and foremost what? A judge. Is that not the case? And there are things you are supposed to do and things you are not supposed to do. And so once you violate one of them, common reasoning will tell that it permeates true. And there have been several cases in the same Supreme Court, that has ruled in this same direction. Some of his colleagues have ruled in this same direction. And so, like I said, I cannot hold anything against her. She's just testing the law. where we are now, I sincerely believe she's now history. As far as the Supreme Court is concerned, either as a justice or as a chief justice, if what we are saying today is going to go by, I think it is almost, impossible for her to remain as a chief justice. But I'm aware that just yesterday, a new person has been nominated as a chief justice. I'm told, and let me congratulate Justice Bafo. He's about 69 years now. And so you have the opportunity of serving as a chief justice for at least 1 year. Once Parliament returns, I'm sure it will come before Parliament, it will come to the vetting. And once the vetting goes through, he will go and serve as the Chief Justice for the remaining years that he has on the bench. He has had a very illustrious career where he started from all these many years up unto this level. Very senior person on the bench now at the Supreme Court. And so he well deserved to be there. One of the things we have done, in this country is where we elevate genius above their seniors, and are based on their political lineage and their political relationships and affiliations. Somebody by far a senior, full of experience and all that, is sidelined, and somebody far junior is put ahead of the person, and the juniors come on top, and either they see the seniors as threats, and so they completely sideline them. We are told about in some cases, where in some cases they were not even allowed to even sit on cases. All manner of things were happening in our Supreme Court. And this is one of the promises that we made to of this country that they bought into, is the fact that we all agree as a nation that our country was not heading in the right direction, that things were not going on well, and that we're coming to reset the country. And Ghanaians bought into this. Ghanaians believe that indeed the nation deserves some resetting. We will not do that capriciously. We will not do that taking the laws into our own hands. We will use the laws of the land to reset the entire system. A system that we can be proud of, a country that all of us can be proud of, to be members of or citizens of. And so that is exactly what we are doing. And in resetting a society, resetting a country, definitely some people become victims along the line. Some people become victims. It's a natural thing that will happen. Just like when you are weeding your farm, there are some trees that definitely must go down so you can have the opportunity to grow new trees. So you can't keep all the trees and all the grass on your farm. You have to cut some down. If you're a cocoa farmer, you would appreciate that a time comes when you have to do pruning. You cut some branches off, you remove some branches, so that the few that will remain can bear, fruits, useful fruits. And so we are resetting the country. The president is very committed to making sure that he will leave a nation that all of us can be proud in by the time he's finishing his work. And so we want to thank the Attorney General and the Attorney General's Department for the work they are doing. We want to thank the President. We want to thank everybody. It is Ghana we are governing. If anybody, so far, all the people have heard running commentaries about this whole Chief Justice issue, I haven't heard one who has said that we have done that outside of the provision of the Ghana's 1992 Constitution. We have applied the law strictly. We have used the law that the President won. It's just a conveyor belt. Somebody submits a petition to him. He hands over the petition to the Council of State. The Council of State establishes a prima facie. They bring him back to him. A committee is set up. The committee, the accused person appears for the committee. The committee submits their report, their recommendation to the President, and the President acts on that recommendation. It's as simple as ABCD. So the President didn't set out to do anything. He was busy thinking how to fix our roads, fix our schools, create employment for the young people. Then he received a petition from a Ghanaian citizen. And then, of course, he will refer to his Attorney General. This is what I've received. What do we do? You tell him, the Constitution says, Council of State must look at it. Once they have established the prima facie, and I'm told him, the Council of State, we have former Chief Justice who serves on the Council of State. And all these persons definitely would have gone through the document and would have come to a conclusion that, yes, it merits further investigation. And that's exactly what they have done. I can only wish Madam Torkornoo all the best in her future endeavors.
Dr. Sato, you look at the affidavit filed in opposition to what Justice Torkornoo's legal team did file. One says that it should be dismissed outright, but at the end of the day, the arguments are being made that, well, she cannot remain on the court as a justice of the Supreme Court.
Okay. Okay, abusuan we ne ensema ekọ so e political highway ne so. Eye Supreme Court and HSM maami aye friend Torkornoo HSM interpretation na yes ekọ so e Supreme Court over ne challenge of removal as a chief justice no and as a Supreme Court judge in abusuan oman penani mu kra ahwe abusuan intino President Mahama is now vindicated. Madam Ase, some of Japan Kokoti and some we at my Ghana politics avenue. So, Madam Ase.